Oshkosh Media is government programming on GovTV, community programming on Life TV, and community radio on Oshkosh FM 101.9.
Welcome to the City Manager's Report, a look at city updates and a preview of the next Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of the City Manager's Report. I'm Andy Radig, and in a moment we'll be joined by our Assistant City Manager, John Fitzpatrick. As usual, in the first portion of today's show, we'll have some municipal news to share, including updates from city departments and some things that are happening around Oshkosh. In the second half, we'll highlight some items from the upcoming Tuesday, April 22nd, Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda. And with that, we bring in our Assistant City Manager, John Fitzpatrick. And John, thanks for joining us for the show today.
Thanks for having me, Andy.
All right, well, we've got a lot to talk about today. We might as well dive right in. The first item that we've been talking about a lot recently is passport parking. And this is an outcome of staff and council have heard requests from the public to simplify and modernize our parking management system. And largely the previous system was paper-based. And so this is a digital platform online, and it's a new solution for the city and for our residents.
It is, and I think the citizens are really going to appreciate it. I have to confess that I remember the old parking meters we had.
I do too.
And the people that used to work servicing them. And, you know, for a while we looked at pay and display options, but that really wasn't something that really took hold here in the community. And it's probably good that we didn't invest a lot of money in that, because now I think everybody likes to have the convenience of being able to utilize apps, mobile apps, and on their phone. And this system really provides a lot of different options for us in that regard.
Right. And the passport parking permit portal, that's a lot of P's in a row there, replaces the city's former paper permit system. So like in the university area for parking, on-street permits,
right,
that sort of thing.
Right.
But that platform is separate from the Passport Mobile Pay app, and we just wanted to point that out as well.
Right, and the Mobile Pay app, just for everybody's information, is used for time parking anywhere, is my understanding, Andy, and anywhere that a passport zone exists. So I think if people can look for passport signage in these areas, for zone numbers and other information, and then create an account, they can use the Passport Mobile Pay app.
Right. And I also wanted to point out that the Passport Mobile Pay app does require a separate account from the permit portal.
Right.
So those are two separate things. They each require their own login and account. But they are both online and currently available for use.
Right, and it looks like we have some good visuals, but I think, yes, we don't want people to be confused. They're two separate things for two separate areas or initiatives, I guess.
Right.
But I think once they grasp that concept, it's really easy. And it's really going to leap us forward, I think, organizationally, and also I think the community is really going to love it.
Yeah. And on the city's website, we do have a frequently asked questions sheet. So we have a lot of detailed information there that people can kind of dive in and learn more about it.
Right.
And then there's also a demo video. We actually just saw a little bit of a demo there as well. But all that information is there, and we will continually update that as we move along with the system.
I know you've been working very hard with a variety of different departments, because it touches so many areas like finance and transportation and even police. So
right.
I know Oshkosh Media staff have been working very hard to get the word out, and I think it'll take a little time for people to adapt to this, but I think once they do, it's going to be a huge improvement.
I think so too, yeah. So also keep an eye on our city social media platforms, and we have some informations, frequently asked questions there as well. So we'll work to get the information out.
Right.
All right. Speaking of getting the information out, we wanted to let folks know that our Oshkosh drinking water has returned to its standard disinfection method. We had been switched over to a chlorine-based disinfectant for a little while there was some equipment that was being changed out, but we have switched back at this point.
Right. I think for people that may not know, Oshkosh, we use the surface water of Lake Winnebago, and then also we use ozone to help disinfect. It's an extremely effective way to disinfect drinking water. And for people that aren't familiar with ozone, it's really when there's a lightning storm and you can smell that kind of fresh scent.
Like fresh rainstorm.
It's really, that's ozone. That's the expression of ozone. So I think people appreciate the taste of ozone. I know in years past we didn't have that disinfection method, but since we've switched to this, it's much more effective. It's much more, I think, something that the community appreciates. So it looks like we have some video of some of the things that are involved associated with our water disinfection. So I'm glad that the repairs were made and that everything is up and running again.
Right. As of Tuesday morning, April 15th, water filtration switched back to ozone.
Right.
And also just of note, a temporary liquid oxygen storage system that was approved by the council on March 11th is expected to be delivered this week, and that the temporary storage tanks will allow the ozone generators to operate while the contractor is demolishing the existing storage tanks. So this is all part of a process and keeping our equipment up to date.
As we know, not everything can last forever, and we want to make sure that it's operating efficiently and effectively. It's such an important responsibility we have for the citizenry, so we need to make sure that we don't create some sort of obsolescence. We want to make sure that we're on top of it and proactive, and that's what this is about.
Right, absolutely. Well, some good news, John. We have our very own Senior Services Manager has received some national recognition.
Right. Dan Braun, who does a great job managing our senior center, has been named a Silver Sneakers Instructor of the Year finalist. And so of all the people all the way across the country, Dan has been narrowed down to the top 4. So we'll see what happens from this point forward. But I think if Dan were here, he's someone who's very modest, and I'm sure he would give credit to a lot of the other people that work at the senior center. But his leadership has been really something that's been welcomed, I know, by the staff and the organization. So,
Sure. And if folks aren't familiar with Silver Sneakers, it's a national fitness and wellness program that is offered at no additional cost to seniors 65 and over on eligible Medicare plans, and it helps them to stay active and stay fit. And they're able to do that at the Oshkosh Senior Center, and they are fortunate to have Dan as one of their instructors.
They really are, and I know we're going to talk a little bit about the Senior Center a little later in the program, but it really is a great option for our community.
Right. So congratulations to Dan, and actually to all of the finalists for that particular recognition. That is fantastic. All right, another great program that we have in Oshkosh is the Great Neighborhoods program, and the application cycle for this is now open, and this program is offered by the city and is available to Oshkosh neighborhood associations.
That's right, and for people that don't understand what this program is, it's really designed to enhance the image and physical conditions of Oshkosh neighborhoods. And maybe a better way to think about it is to just talk a little bit about some of the other projects that have been accomplished in the past, Andy.
Yeah, we have a few examples from the past, like for example the William Waters Plaza redesign. Here we see a rendering of that.
Right.
That is over by the Oshkosh Public Library.
Right.
And so that has been a major one.
Yep. I think another one that I can recall is Sea, Sand, and Sailorland.
Sure.
that playground. It looks like we got some video there. I was actually there when that was dedicated. So it's in Menominee Park. It's really used by a variety of folks, but I think especially younger kids like to take advantage of that, and parents and grandparents. So the surface is
Like
available.
a rubber.
Yeah, it's available for people that like elderly people who have walkers, wheelchairs, can access it, in a variety of different folks. So
Yeah. And those neighborhood associations work in collaboration with city staff.
Right.
And those residents initiate, plan, and implement those projects
Right.
in collaboration.
And who better than the people that live in those neighborhoods to provide suggestions as to what's needed. So we hope people take advantage of that, and if they need more information on the program, I think they can contact Planning Services.
That's right. Planning Services, 920-236-5126 if you are interested in the Great Neighborhoods program
Right.
and to learn a little bit more about it.
Right.
All right. Another great thing for our city is Oshkosh continues its recognition as a Tree City USA. And I know that our Parks Department and Forestry folks are very proud of this recognition.
Absolutely. I know we've gone through some difficult times with a lot of the inclement weather that we've experienced
Right.
here in Oshkosh,
Right.
but I know they're very proud of our urban forest. I know we've received some assistance over the years from the Oshkosh Area Community Foundation, but having a strong urban forest is something that helps our community in a variety of different ways. From not only just beautification, it helps reduce some of the distress that takes place on our roadways, and it's just something that we want to continue to be proud of and promote.
Absolutely. And Oshkosh has received this recognition for 44 consecutive years, including this year. So that is great.
Yeah.
And coming up on April 25th, actually, is Arbor Day. And Oshkosh will be celebrating Arbor Day with a program over at Menominee Elementary School by planting 4 trees across the street in Menominee Park.
Right.
So we'll have probably 100 more students over there to help
Right.
out with
Looks
that.
like we have some video of some past years there. I think
Right.
it's something that is a good cooperative program that we've done for quite some time with the Oshkosh Area School District. Kids like to participate in that, and I think it helps them understand the importance of making sure that we take care of our urban landscape with a strong urban forest.
Sure. Also, the Oshkosh North Communities class will be involved in another presentation and program on that afternoon, as well as the Oshkosh Garden Club
Right.
will be having a celebration. So quite a few activities for
think-
Arbor Day.
We're going to be there recording and sharing that information, so if folks can't get out there, that we can broadcast some of that at a later time too.
Absolutely, yeah. As you just happened to see a little bit of that video clip from one of the previous Arbor Day celebrations and programs, we will be recording the Menominee Elementary School program that's coming up on the 25th. So stay tuned for that and watch for that on Oshkosh Media. So excited about that as well.
Right.
All right. Another thing that we wanted to point out, if folks are very interested in finding out about what kinds of projects are going on at the city and facilities updates and
Right.
things like that, it wasn't always the easiest to learn about those various things through any kind of online tool. But
Right.
now we have a new facilities dashboard that is online, and folks can learn about all the different things that are going on.
Absolutely. I think we've spoken about the CIP dashboard that we have on our website in the past, where
Right.
people can take a look at different road projects in their neighborhood. So as a nod to the success of that program, we've expanded it a little bit and applied it to our facilities. So there's a variety of different facilities that we have in addition to City Hall that the city manages. And this tool allows you to go online and take a look at those projects, where we are with them, what's planned with them, when they're coming up, just to provide a little more information about what's going on and what will be going on with these projects. I think John Urban in General Services, Mike Blank, and some of the folks that work in that area have done a great job developing this with information technology, and it's just another way for us to be transparent with the citizenry, so they know what's going on, so they know we're good stewards of their tax dollars, and they can see actually where some of the contributions that they're making are going toward.
Yeah. And specifically, this dashboard lists capital improvement plan and other facility improvement projects that are coordinated by our facilities maintenance folks, along with the General Services Division. And so, these are very specific projects, but they cross all the different types of city facilities.
Absolutely. When we talk about the CIP, the Capital Improvement Program plan, it's really made up by large capital items. Those include all kinds of different roadway projects, but also they include city facilities and some other larger items too. So it's just a window into that to provide more information to folks.
Right. So we encourage you to check that out. There's a lot to click around and take a look at details, and there's a lot that you can learn with that. I found myself kind of spending a lot of time just kind of digging into it.
Right. There's a lot of stuff there.
So feel free. Okay, then we also wanted to point out it is spring finally, and we have some of those kind of seasonal things that we'd like to point out. One of those is that the 2025 Waterways Navigation season officially opens on April 20th, which is Easter Sunday.
Right.
And so that means that the state-operated lift bridges in Winnebago County will resume functions for the navigation season. And those bridges are operated by Winnebago County, and I know that the state is also part of that as well. But they informed the city that they will be doing some maintenance work on the bridges, and so we wanted to pass along that there will be some full closures coming up of our various bridges along the Fox River coming up in May.
That's right. Yeah, I think it's my understanding the Oregon-Jackson Street Bridge is going to be worked on May 6th, the Main Street Bridge on May 7th, the Wisconsin Street Bridge on May 8th, and then the Congress Avenue Bridge open with lane restrictions on Wednesday, May 14th.
Right. And Congress actually will be closed on May 13th, but then, as you mentioned, lane restrictions the next day on the 14th.
Right.
So, and that time period on each of those days will be 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. that those bridges are closed off. But that will allow them to do maintenance on those bridges as well as some cleaning.
Right.
And as we were talking before about our water filtration plant, that we need to keep things up to snuff.
Right.
They do the same thing with the bridges.
Absolutely. Bridge assessment and maintenance, and it's just a specialized area, and making sure that we're on top of it before, and proactive to make sure nothing happens that's out of the ordinary.
Right.
That's our goal. So.
Yep. And the link also, just so folks are aware, the link to all those dates, if you didn't catch those, is available in the Hot Topics section of the city's website. There's a listing there, so you can double check what those dates are, so you can kind of plan your commute. Okay, then also, John, we wanted to point out, I was talking with Ray Maurer, our Parks Director, about that they have a need for volunteers for many of the events that are coming up this summer and spring with the Oshkosh Parks Department. And we encourage folks to give some consideration to being a volunteer.
Right. One thing that people may not know about that I think would be a fun option for folks to consider is Brews on the Bay. That's a program where we have, I believe it's hosted at Menominee Park. There's a lot of craft breweries that are showcased there. I think there's music down there. It's really a fun environment, but we could use some volunteers to help us out with that.
Right. And if anybody is interested in getting involved, they can certainly give Kathy Snell a call at 236-5080. And she will be very happy to get you assigned to one of those events and whatever you might like to do to help out. So,
And Brews on the Bay is just one example.
right.
We have
Right.
so much programming through parks that I think we could, we would appreciate your help with any
Yeah.
and all of those programs.
Yeah,
So-
especially the children's events as well. You know, we have some
Absolutely.
of those coming up too.
Right, right.
So always different opportunities with our Oshkosh Parks Department.
Right.
They have a lot going on.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, we're talking about spring here, and our annual spring cleanup actually begins on April 21st. So this is an extended period of brush pickup, essentially, with our sanitation division. And
Right.
that's from April 21st through May 9th.
Right, that's right. And spring cleanup is defined as tree branches, leaves, hedge clippings, garden debris, and please no grass, dirt, root balls, or stumps. Please don't include those. And if you could place that brush in biodegradable bags, or if you can bundle and tie some of the brush, as you can see on the graphic, we would appreciate that too. But if you have something that's a little bit out of the ordinary, you can always check the city website for more details about something that may not fit into the parameters that are described here.
Right, right. The city's sanitation webpage has more details.
Yep.
And again, that pickup is the same day as your regular garbage collection day.
Right.
So can certainly take advantage of that. And as I know I need to get out around my yard and
Yeah.
clean up some of that mess, this is a good opportunity to clean it up and get it out.
Right,
So,
and we thought having it on your regular garbage collection day would just make it a little more convenient for folks. They don't have to remember a separate date.
Right.
So,
Sure. Okay. And then just one other thing we wanted to mention, John, as well, is that we did mention this on the last show. The Oshkosh Community Survey is coming soon, and some residents may have already received a paper copy of the Oshkosh Community Survey, and we want to remind them that it is a legitimate survey, and we encourage them to fill it out or use the QR code that is on the mailer and complete that online.
right. It's my understanding that open participation survey will be available from the 16th to the 30th, and folks can just visit the Polco page to register and be notified of this survey and other surveys, because we want to hear from the citizenry. We want to hear what you are interested in, and that way we can best serve you. So I think also Polco can be reached through a link on the city's website, and I think survey results will be posted once we get everything completed. We also have previous years, so you can take a look at how this latest survey stacks up with some of the ones that we've done in the past.
Sure. So if you did not receive one of those random mailers, the open participation survey will be available from May 16th through the 30th.
Right.
We will give you another reminder about that. We encourage everybody to fill out that survey and take part in your community for information gathering purposes.
Right.
All right. Well, I think at this point we will turn to some highlights from the agenda from the upcoming Tuesday, April 22nd Oshkosh Common Council meeting. Again, that meeting will be televised on Oshkosh Media Gov TV along with our various platforms. And I am alongside our Assistant City Manager, John Fitzpatrick, and we will take a look here at some of the upcoming agenda items. So, John, we have some proclamations, actually several on this meeting, one of which is, we mentioned our Oshkosh Senior Center earlier. They are celebrating their 50th anniversary.
Right. It's just hard to believe that the Senior Center has been in existence for 50 years. It's really a tremendous resource for the community. It's not just for seniors. They do a lot of programming with, I know, our Oshkosh Area School District. We talked a little bit about that partnership that we have, that Parks also oversees the Oshkosh Senior Center. And so there's just so many wonderful things that they have going on. Their staff do a great job, and it's appropriate for us to honor all the great work that they've done for the past 50 years.
Sure. Yeah, again, the Senior Center always has all kinds of different programs going on. It's hard to pinpoint any one thing because there are so many things happening over
Right,
there.
right. They collaborate with a variety of different city departments.
Right.
So just well-deserved recognition.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, then, John, under our consent agenda, we have an item relating to professional services for the Jackson Street, Oregon Street bridge and reconstruction. And my understanding is that this is for some of the design of the roads that lead up to the new bridge that is being planned.
Right, and for people that have been keeping track of this, I think that this has been a long process. And we were speaking about bridges earlier in the program, but this is going to be a significant undertaking for us to redo the Jackson Oregon Street Bridge, and it's slated to be replaced in 2029. It's my understanding that the council has settled on a design that's going to be an open span bridge, so a fixed span, so it'll be a little elevated and won't be a lift or operational bridge like some of the others that we have. But I think, my preliminary understanding of some of the renderings, and we have some visuals here, it's going to look really nice. I think it's going to be a nice addition to that area. But in advance of that, there's a lot of approaches that have to be assessed by the Wisconsin DOT, and they work in conjunction with the community. We want to make sure that everything is aligned and improved as best we can. So
Right.
that's what some of these renderings display.
Sure, it's kind of a permanent thing once it gets in place.
Yes,
so we got to
it
do
is.
it right.
That's right.
Once it's
That's right.
underway here.
No, it should be good.
Yeah. All right. Under pending ordinances, we have a couple of items that are relating to our liquor licenses, and I know that the council has been working with staff on kind of revamping some of these things, and these items are related to that.
They have. It started a little bit before new city manager Rebecca Grill got here, but since she's arrived, I think she's really taken it to another level. She's kind of assessed where we're at, what we do, and she's brought her experience. For people that don't know, she was previously a city clerk for the city of Milwaukee, and also in addition to being the city administrator in West Allis, she kind of did double duty and was also the city clerk there. So she's applied her expertise and worked with staff to try to come up cooperatively with making some of our structural parameters associated with liquor licensing better for the community, and I think this is going to be a real good improvement.
Yeah. All right. And then we also have an approval of Pickard Park Master Plan.
Right. I know that for people that live on the west side, there's been some rapid expansion there, and parks haven't really kept pace with that.
Right.
So this particular park, Pickard Park Master Plan, has been approved by the Parks Board and also the Plan Commission. It's on the west side of our community, north of 9th near Clairville Road, and I think this is going to be a welcome addition to that part of our community.
I agree, definitely. And then we also have an item urging the Joint Finance Committee to fund the Municipal Services Payment Program at 100%. I know that the city has quite a few state functions here, and this relates to the city providing services to state facilities.
Absolutely. The state kind of paying their fair share of the services that we provide to their facilities. For people that may not know, we're really third in the state behind Madison and Milwaukee with public facilities, state-run facilities, and we want the state to pay their fair share so those costs aren't pushed forward to the citizenry. That's really what this is all about.
Okay. And John, real quick, we got about 15 seconds. Recognition of Sunset West Neighborhood Association.
Yeah, we talked about neighborhood development and ideas earlier in the show. I'm pleased to say that we have another new neighborhood association, and that's again over on the west side because of the expansion that's taking place. So welcome to Sunset West.
Absolutely. All right. Well, John, we really appreciate your insights today, and thanks for joining us for the show.
Thanks for having me, Andy.
All right. Glad you're here. And then also, we thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your time. Again, that council meeting is coming up on Tuesday, April 22nd. You can watch that on Oshkosh Media Gov TV or listen on 101.9 FM. And please join us again in 3 weeks for another City Managers Report.